And I bet you boo-hoo it in the bathroom or something, but they told me not to cry. Go ahead, BG.
Well, it's an interesting dynamic because I, well, however you look at it, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't have much recollection of my past. My father, he passed away several years ago, and I think the best example that I've gotten scripturally, as Mr. Tony was saying, the Bible teaches us, our responsibility. And I'm very, very intentional about my responsibility as the man, quote unquote, head of household. Um, I'm very, very adamant about the fact that, like me or dislike me, I really don't care. But respect me, I give you no choice. By the same token, that demands that I also respect the next man.
Yeah.
I'm not really, I look at all men as the same. There are struggles that we as black men endure. A lot of it at the hands of other races. But I'm one who I would much rather take on the responsibility of myself than try to blame or point fingers at someone else. You know, the the ideology. I think probably the two best books I read or have read, the Bible, and I have repeated this before. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and those two books have given me a unique perspective on the male psyche. Uh, I
Wow.
do a lot of research. I'm a weekly columnist for the newspaper back home in Georgia, but I do a lot of research. And one of the things that I'm a big proponent of is you educate yourself, improve your knowledge. And when it comes to men and the dynamic of our position in the world, the ugly truth of the matter is we're the low man on the totem pole. You know,
Well, we're
this
right there with you. We're right
this
there on that
world,
totem pole, right along with
my wife and I were watching a documentary earlier today, and it talked about how um, the black heritage has literally been stolen. If you look at every major continent in this world, on every major continent, indigenous people were black. They educate us and tell us that we were brought over here on slave ships. No, there were not that many slave ships that brought that many people. The indigenous people in this country were black. Um, it's just something that been it's a misnomer. We've been miseducated, and like I said, our heritage has been stolen. Um,
those
I'm
are the
not
things that you need to be teaching, or the teachers need to be teaching our children that's in school that's hearing different stories. And most of those history books have been tainted. That they want us to know but so much, but not enough about our own culture. And then that comes from us, where we have to continue to educate our own, because nobody else is going to do that. So they're
no,
limiting things that's in the schools now. So I get that, and I applaud you for saying that. We have Dee Dee, who says, "Thank you for this conversation. It's a conversation we definitely need to have as a person." We have Kiana saying, "Our older generation were children, then parents. Our generations are now adults having children." Travita chimes in and says that it's the same thing for her. She has 5 brothers, 5 boys, and that's exactly what they said. So, for those who, thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Stevens, and for you gentlemen for chiming in. For those listening who are just beginning to make space for healing and who might feel uncomfortable sitting in stillness or confronting their emotions, I want you to come up with yourself, because I'm going to ask you next week, what's one practical step or daily practice that you recommend to yourself to start honoring a commitment, a real life commitment for you. Because today's focus, we're challenging ourselves to create an acronym using our own words or quotes, something that gives new meaning to a term that reflects being broken or wounded. The goal is to reclaim and infuse that word with power, intention, and healing. And that's the word that I chose. I chose healing, and I broke it down as an acronym: healing, life, invigorating, and nourishing, along with glorify. So I chose that as my acronym because healing isn't just about recovery.